Well, let's do our top 5 Sandra Bullock movies. This was a little bit tougher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I had to knock a couple off that I wanted to include, but did not.
Yeah. My first, you first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. My number 5 best Sandra Bullock film is probably the film that started all for her. And she was sneaky good in it. And this, she had such a different quirky personality. And, she kind of jumped off the screen. And this was another vehicle for two bigger stars at the time. But she came in and crushed it. And this is none other than Demolition Man, a very, very sneaky and clever film. The place where Taco Bell is the best restaurant in the world. And so one of my favorite films. So Demolition Man, number 5. Number 4 is a newer film of hers. It was released on Netflix, was Netflix's number 1 film, and that was Bird Box. And that was shot in our own hometown of Monrovia. M-Town representing. Bird Box, she was really good in. Very entertaining film. And again, kind of a different role for her, a little more serious. And she was really good in that. Number 3 is also a very serious film of her. And I want to say a lot of you guys probably haven't seen it. And I encourage you all to see this film. It takes place during the events of 9/11. And it's about, is it an autistic child, I believe, that is dealing with the loss of his dad who died at 9/11, and Sandra Bullock's the mother in that, and it's extremely loud and incredibly close. The music is some of the best score you'll hear. It's from Alexander Desplat, and
who did the Harry Potter movies?
Yeah, he did the later ones. Yeah,
right.
But this is one of the first films I think I've heard his score, and it completely engulfs you into the film. It is a very captivating soundtrack. I listen to it, almost daily because it's just so good, and it helps just create this type of emotion and response to it. So
I haven't seen that, but I'll watch it.
Check it. I believe we own it.
It seems whenever I get to it, because it's in every list that I have to watch stuff, and whenever I'm about to watch it, I'm like, man, 9/11. Do I really want to watch a movie about 9/11? It's just like, it's a heavy subject matter. And
it is, but it's really good.
If I can watch Crimes of the Future, I guess I can watch that.
Yeah, it's so well done, Pete, that I think you get through it, and it's a really good film. I don't think it's a perfect film, but it's captivating for a large portion of it. So highly recommend. My number 2 film is probably the film that made her a star, and that was Speed. And that was her and Keanu Reeves. If you haven't checked that one out. And then my number 1 film is the one I feel like you have to put it, and it's Miss Congeniality. This is kind of the film that's her wheelhouse. That's literally the film she's most known for, is Miss Congeniality.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
Okay.
That's literally like that's her best film of all time.
Okay.
And they made a sequel out of it, which kind of proves the point.
No, it's
I'm not saying Miss Congeniality is my favorite film. I'm just saying, like, that's her. That's what she's most known for. So I had to put that in. I mean, again, there's some honorable mentions that I'll say at the end of this, but obviously there's films I left off. But
well, here's my list. I left off the one that she actually won an Oscar for because I never saw it, which was The Blind Side. So I don't. It might be good. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's funny because, I love the story. I knew the original story before it even came out, so I was very familiar with it. I thought she was great in it acting wise. The movie I'm not in love with. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just thought it was a very okay film. But I think, especially when it comes to sports films and football films in general, like, I'm highly, highly critical of how the football looks. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't remember the football being excellent in that film. I remember it being substandard when it comes to football quality. So I think that's what kind of hits it off the list for me. But she obviously was great and it won the Oscar for it. but not better than she was in Demolition Man, Pete. I'll tell you that much.
No, definitely not. I left The Time of Kill off because she was such a small role.
Same, but she was great
It
in
was
that.
a killer movie. She was good in it.
Yeah.
I left Ocean's 8 off because, again, I mean, it was fine, but I didn't think it was one of her better performances.
Well, I think the movie itself limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 5 for me, it's the same as you, Paul. It's the first time I saw Sandra Bullock, and it's Demolition Man. I mean, it was perfect. Number 4 for me also was Bird Box. It was a different kind of role for her. It was a different kind of movie for her to be a part of. And so I put that at number 4. I put number 3 as Speed.
Well, I mean, we're pretty,
because it became almost like iconic in a way. It almost became mimicked and played into like different other like TV shows and conversations. They always talked about Speed, and it was a big movie at the time.
Yeah.
I put Miss Congeniality at number 2 because
why are you giving me so much?
Was so iconic, and that's what really kind of put her on the map. But her number 1 film is Gravity, 100% Gravity. That's her performing
Gravity, but
virtually by herself and killing it.
I didn't like the film that much, so I think maybe that's why
it was her best role. It's her best performance. My list is perfect. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could understand why, because like you're saying, she's by herself. I think the Gravity film itself was, like I said, it was. I wanted to like it more than I did. I don't remember why I didn't like it so much.
Oh man, it was so suspenseful. Like anything space where
I don't think I liked where the story went. I don't know. There was something that bothered me about it. I forgot, but I agree with you. She's excellent in it. The end music is really good in it. Might have been, maybe it was George Clooney. Like I don't know. I'll have to watch it again. I'll have to watch it again too.
I loved him in it too. He was funny, and he was basically her voice, No,
I get it. I get it, Pete. Thank you. I understand the film. It just, like I said,
let me break down Gravity for you, Paul. Here's this.
I think it was expectations versus reality. I think I just thought it was going to be a different film.
Did you see it in the theater?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, and I own it.
Theater, especially in the theater, it was so suspenseful. Like
I actually own it, which makes it probably even worse.
Anytime you're watching like a space movie and like there's like this idea that you're going to get propelled out into infinite space and like end up suffocating and dying, it's like it was so suspenseful. And the camera work and the visuals were gorgeous. They were stunning.
So yeah, basically our lists are pretty similar. The exception is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close and Gravity. Those are the 2 ones where we differ. I'll be honest. I think the crowd will probably go with yours versus mine, only because my film's more sneaky good. And as more of a film connoisseur that I am, we see the films that people don't always see, and so I think that's where. But your film,
thank you.
You probably will win it just because of Gravity. I honestly I forgot about Gravity, but I don't know if I would have put it either way.
Well, can't wait to
the other film that I liked about her, other honorable mention is the one with her and Ryan Reynolds. I think it's called The Proposal. But I like that one. That was a good film. And then her new film, actually, I thought she was really good in The Lost City. I laughed out loud in the theater several times in that.
You LOL'd?
Huh?
You LOL?
Yeah. I raffled. I raffled a couple times.
Oh man, but I should have put it as my number 5, Hope Floats with Harry Connick Jr. because that was gorgeous.
I gotta watch that one. I gotta watch that one again. I was really young when I saw that one. So
yeah, it's cute. Whatever.
Well, I like Harry Connick Jr. too.
Yeah, me too. I love Harry.